The myriad of unique and interesting theories surrounding Kang the Conqueror seems to be an ever-present phenomenon, which with endless variants of the same tyrant running around the multiverse, is expected. Able to invade any point in the time in any reality, it makes sense that his reach could be among the furthest of any character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Recently, the Cosmic Circus levied a claim that Kang the Conqueror might have actually authored the Darkhold, the very book of the damned responsible for Wanda's corruption in the Multiverse of Madness. But what exactly does this look like? And are these claims true? Stick with us today, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, and let's evaluate this idea. Talk about what it would change from the comic book origins of the text, and what it might mean for the MCU if it's ultimately proven to be correct. As of now, we know that the Darkhold was originally built as a transcription of the spells engraved in the walls of Mount Wundagore, and it was believed that the original author of the Darkhold was Kthon. Kthon in the comics is one of the most powerful demons known to the Marvel Universe, and is one of the ultimate harbingers of chaos magic, the very source of power that grants Wanda her incredible abilities. However, if the Darkhold was written by a Kang, then it wouldn't necessarily mean that there aren't Kthon spells, and it's very possible that Kthon could still exist without much change to his original character. Let us explain. It would simply imply that Kang posed as one of Kthon's early followers, and was the human to venture into Wundagore in order to transcribe Kthon's teachings into the Darkhold, and Kang would have several reasons to understandably do this, but more on that in just a moment. Kthon, however, could still be the exact same character without much change to the lore, and retconning this detail wouldn't damage Kthon's origin in any majorly notable way. This theory being true would help to explain the elusive prophecy of the Scarlet Witch, and how Kthon's first disciples were able to foretell Wanda's arrival thousands of years before her birth, down to the iconic crown that they sculpted into her very throne. While several of their abilities in the comics can explain why they know of Wanda's arrival, this would be a new and unique explanation for the Marvel Universe. If Kang helped to transcribe the Darkhold, then he could have very well known of Wanda and her importance given the time that he spent in the future, likely even battling Wanda herself and embedding his knowledge into the past. In essence, the prophecy of the Scarlet Witch may not have been a prophecy at all, but a recorded encounter that Kang simply brought to the past. It might also imply that at least one variant of Kang has had experience wielding, or at least studying chaos magic. We know that the primary difference between witches and sorcerers is that witches have innate power within their genetics, while sorcery can be taught to just about anybody, which leaves us to wonder if Kang is able to practice chaos magic, or if he is simply an avid student of theoretical practice. If it's the former, then seeing a variant of Kang able to utilize the same frame of power as Wanda or Agatha might make this specific version a highly unique and specialized threat. We know that one of the most notable individuals to balance magic and science is that of Dr. Doom, and his ability to juggle both abilities has made him one of Marvel's most iconic and dangerous villains. So seeing Kang take a page from Doom's book ahead of Victor's debut could allow us to get some insight into Doom's character when he eventually arrives. We also have reason to believe that Kang himself might be a mutant, and his mutation might allow one of his variants to be able to utilize chaos magic. In the Miss Marvel series, it is explained that Kamala Khan is only able to utilize the power of her bangle because of a mutation in her genetics, which led her to being identified as the MCU's first named mutant. If Kang is truly hunting the bangle and the 10 rings, however, as has been suggested by several leaks and claims, then we are left to wonder how he can use it if he is not a mutant. We did conduct a more thorough breakdown of this idea and concept, so be sure to check that out as well if this topic interests you, but the general idea is that if only mutants can use the bangle, then perhaps Kang himself might be a mutant as well. If it's the latter, however, and he can't actually use chaos magic, then he might have studied it on a scientific level in order to prepare himself against the Scarlet Witch. We know that Wanda is one of the most powerful threats that Earth 616 has to offer, and it's reasonable to conclude that she will be one of Kang's greatest challenges on multiple timelines, so studying her capabilities would be a reasonable thing for Kang to do. Although Wanda appears to have perished on Wundagore during the closing of Doctor Strange 2, the general fan consensus seems to be that she is not truly dead, and even if this variant really is gone, we know that she has thousands of duplicates across the multiverse that Kang may encounter, or perhaps that he already has encountered. Regardless of why, studying Wanda's power and setting her on her course could allow Kang to be better prepared for her presence. What this doesn't explain, however, is why Kang would leave the Darkhold behind for humans to use instead of scanning the text with his future technology and taking the teachings with him back to the future. With that said, there are several theoretical explanations that aren't major enough to disprove the entire idea. There could very easily be a reason why he needed the timeline to play out as it did, which included having the Darkhold present on the timeline. Perhaps he was trapped and didn't have access to his advanced machinery and had to go analog, or maybe it was simply a Kang who wasn't native to this timeline and didn't care how the future played out there. Whatever the reason, this gap doesn't seem to be a large enough detail to derail the entire theory and idea, and it's an interesting concept to theorize about regardless. Could it be true that a variant of Kang is actually the author of the Darkhold? And does the Demon Lord Kthon still exist in the mythos? This would in fact be a major departure of the character, but it would also serve to tie Kang into Multiverse of Madness, as well as give him a strong connection to Scarlet Witch, which is something else which is heavily rumored. The fact that the Scarlet Witch will be playing a major role in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, and that she may actually hold the key to defeating Kang, which of course would cause Kang to heavily prepare for such a formidable enemy. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of this idea? Do you think Kang might have transcribed the Darkhold? And if so, what else do you think he did while he was posing as one of Kthon's first disciples? But the biggest mystery to date is, why would he leave the Darkhold behind? What great purpose does this serve? And ultimately, the most important question: do you believe this report at all? And do you think that Kang is the actual author of the Darkhold? As always, friends and watchers, thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I hope that you are having a great day.